exactly. We're about to be schooled, and I'm sure everyone out there has a pen and a paper because you'll be in for a lot of penning down and jottings and all of that.
Okay.
So we're always glad
I'm
to
a teacher
have
though.
No wonder.
And you know when teachers stop, you write.
So thank you for joining us again on the
program. Thank you.
Now today we are looking at friendship and networking. Yeah. Now if I'm to say, I would say they are intertwined. Like friendship comes in hand with networking, and it's just together one way or the other. I think it's just a slight difference in it. But then if you look at the general friendship that we have, the regular friendship that you have with your everyday kind of people, can we attribute that to networking? I think we should take it one at a time. The friendship thing, then we slide into networking.
Okay. But before we even go into that, I want to believe that lots of people do not understand the true meaning and the true value of friendship. So with what we're talking about, they can't even relate because they don't know what friendship is. So maybe we should even start from there. What would you describe friendship as? Okay,
let me start by saying first of all that because we are going to be, relating this to women, because the way men and women have different brains, our brains work differently. So the way men approach friendship, the way they approach networking is different from the way women approach friendship and also approach networking. Now, like Madeleine Albright said, the former U.S. Secretary of State, she said women are good at making friends, but they are poor at networking. Yes. And, seemingly so, maybe because, the way we think, the way women, we try to process things, we try to analyze things, and then form connections, trust, know, like, and trust before we now even bring out ourselves. So that also informs the way we network and also the way we make friends. But since we're talking about friendship first, friends, I tell people there are categories of friendship. Like Sandra was saying that maybe people don't understand, friends. You have acquaintances that are not your friends, just people whom you know, whom you don't really relate with, but you know them. They are just your acquaintances. You're not their enemies. You're not their friends. And you're not their frenemy. There's another one called frenemy. Friendship plus some enmity. You're not their frenemy. You're not their enemy. You're not really their friends. They are just your acquaintances. Now, your friends are people that you hang out with, regularly. You chat with, and all. And even in the friendship, there's also called something inner circle. Inner circle people. These are your main... and inner circle are always smaller. There are people that you can just be bare to, you can be vulnerable to, you can just lay it all before them. And your inner circle, most times, even when they are not with you, they call you on phone. They will say, no, you're not okay, Sandra. There's something wrong. Because you have stayed together, you're knitted. So they can tell even from your voice whether they are outside the country or not, to know that, something is wrong with you. Now, even in the friendship, Aristotle said, like I wrote in my book Unstoppable, I said there are three, Aristotle, not I quoted Aristotle in my book. He said there are three kinds of friendship. He says friendship of pleasure, friendship of good, and friendship of utility. So, and of course, Aristotle was the philosopher, And he says for friendship, first is friendship of utility. He says these are your colleagues in the office. These are your business partners and so on. You're not necessarily close, but certain things bring you together. It could be to progress your business. It could be, and from there I can draw an analogy about networking from that. Then it talks about friendship of pleasure. You hang out. Just hang out. Yes, you have some guys who just hang out. Yes, they go drink together, watch all these people that go to watch La Liga, Barca, and so on. They just sit down. It's just friendship of pleasure. Some, Femi sits here. We all sit together and watch this. And after they go, sometimes some business things happen from there. But a lot of times it's just for pleasure. Then it says the last is the friendship of good. And Aristotle says that the friendship of good is the most important friendship. It's a friendship where you're knitted to the person, where you people feel certain obligation, fulfill certain obligation with each other. So those are the three kinds of friendship based on Aristotle. And I like it. And I think I agree with it too. Yes,
I think we have a better understanding. I'm sure the viewers out there too have picked a point or two from what you just defined. Now, bringing it back to networking thing. Now, you said it that you can actually create an analogy from that friendship of utility.
Yes.
That's, you know, when something, there's a goal that is bringing 2 or more people together. Let's say, for example, in a workplace, you're being saddled with an assignment and you know that you can't do this alone. You need other people's ideas. Yeah. So we can actually say that way, in one way or the other, it's a kind of networking. I don't know if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's a teamwork, actually.
Okay. That's
a teamwork, because you need it could have some element of networking, but it's a teamwork. It's something that you guys have a common goal in the office. Yes. You want to achieve this thing, you know, probably like you guys here, you have your production to do and you must achieve it. So, of course, you have to put your differences aside and so on and make sure that you arrive at this, you know. It's actually more of teamwork than networking. Networking now, it's,
in its real sense.
In its real sense, is putting yourself out there. Putting yourself out there to meet more persons. And that's where women have the problem. To meet more persons, to be able to know. Because, you see, they say your network determines your net worth. And you know, we used to say, who is your father? Who is your father? You know this joke we say, who is your father? That thing is really, if you look at it very well, it's looking at what is your net worth. Because your father is supposed to be that person, you know, who is like that built your net worth before you now get into. So even when they ask you, who is your father, is your net worth. And now when you have gone beyond even just your father, when this guy sang Omo Babolowo, now he's Omo Lowo himself. He's a big boy. But when he started Omo Babolowo, who is your father? Your father has, but he has gone and built his own structure now. You know, so even beyond, you know, when you have gone out, you now build your structure. And that's what networking is. That's beyond just, you know, you growing, becoming this and working in a place, that you now have your own structure. You now have your own people. You have been able to galvanize, you know, your own social capital. And that's what networking does. You bring out yourself. And I tell people, in bringing out yourself, you're actually you're bringing value to the table. Yeah. Because you can't bring out yourself without value. You know, and I don't want to go ahead of me, because today I'm going to be teaching what they will not teach you in business school. I'm going to be teaching homegrown solutions, because I know that we read and all, but I like to adapt, like I keep saying here. I like to adapt issues locally. If they say in America, this is how it's done, I tell you, okay, in Nigeria, because of our weather, because of our economic situation, this is how we do ours. And that's what I'm going to be teaching today. Something practical, not fluff, that you can adapt locally and it works. But again, women have an issue with bringing themselves out, and we're going to look into that.
Yes.
Is that because now you've been saying that, like, you use the word frenemies in the first place, and I feel like that word doesn't apply to men. They can't relate, because men, I feel it's more with women. Yeah, you know,
because
it's more with women.
It's difficult for men to actually build up this enmity thing among themselves.
You see,
it's a free thing among ladies. Like, it happens like a normal thing. Yes, we wrote together, now we are no more, so everybody just did their
No, I think I don't think men don't have enemies. I'm not a man, and I'll never be one, but I don't think men don't have enemies. I think they do. But the only thing is that, see, let's look at how men approach things. Maybe that will now make us understand why they do the way they behave. Now, in relationship, when a man is going after a girl, he doesn't, that is the picture he keeps in his front. He goes out to buy her shawarma. The end product is to get the girl. And he keeps his eyes on the ball. So whether it is by calling you, Fumi, by 7 p.m., you say, I'm still working. He's sitting there because he is targeting something. And that his target, he doesn't want to miss it. So he puts all his energy that way. Now, women are a bit different. And women, normally, we want to, like I said earlier, we want to form a connection first. Do I like Fumi? Do I not like her? Okay, the guy is chasing me, you know. Her target will be, okay, maybe she likes him, but there are so many things
that
comes with it. Let me ask Sandra whether Sandra likes him too. The man did not say, let me ask Jide whether Jide likes the girl. He is the one that likes the girl. He's moving. He knows what he wants to get.
More like our goals are distracted at some point.
Yes, women will look at, okay, and it helps us, because that's why we are women. But again, we need to now know where to draw the line. Because in networking, you see that, okay, yes, I want to bring myself out there, but I want her to like me first. I want him to like me first. I want to make sure that I understand him very, very well before. In your understanding, you need to know where to draw the line. Because if your goal is to make sure that in networking, I want us to have a business network. He or she liking you 100% is not the question.
But sorry, I want to ask a thing, because that analogy now, is it that it's best to say we get it all wrong at that in that aspect? Because if a guy fine is a go-getter, this is what he wants, and he will go all the way to get what he wants. Fine, he may now later be discovering a lot of things that he won't be able to cope with, and if he does that, it's easy for them to discard something. Like if a guy doesn't want something, he doesn't think about it twice. Like he just be like, I don't like it. Reasons best known to them. But a lady, now we're trying to do all our checks and balances to be sure that where we are going is a safe haven. It's going to be a safe haven for us. Fine, in between we might miss it, we might get distracted. In between, we might be looking for too much. You know, we want to know whether, okay, for example, you gave an instance. Okay, Sandra is my friend. This is a guy checking me. Okay, I want to know if Sandra likes this person. Like, I'm trying to, okay, what if Sandra doesn't like it? That means maybe it's not good enough. You know, everyone has a spec. Everyone has these qualities they look out for in a guy or in a lady. Somebody said it to me one time that sometimes guys don't reason that way. Okay, I understand. And now with this analogy now, they are go-getters until they get what they want before they start discovering some things. Is that the right thing to do? And we need to know if this is the right way to go. Now you're asking me out. I need to know if you're a Christian. I need to know if you smoke. I need to know if I can tolerate. I need to know your actions. I need to build friendship with you.
But you need to understand that networking and building a relationship are two different things. The person you're coming to meet or the person you're probably wanting to date, they are two different things. In networking, for instance, you're aiming for something higher. You've been to a program and you saw this person, this CEO, whom you want to send your proposal to. Please, I don't know how many years it will take you to really want to know, like, and all those things in it. Yes, you take your time, you really want to study the person. But the first thing is to put yourself out there. I go to an event, and that's where women miss it. When men come to an event, even when they are just sitting down, in a lounge, waiting for flights, you say, oh boy, how you doing now?
Yeah, they're already talking.
Not women. You look at yourself, you have looked at her, looked at a lot of women, not all. You've looked at her, should we talk, shouldn't we talk? Her weave is not really this and all that, and all. But men just go across, maybe as he's going to ease himself. Oh boy, how you doing now? So, my name is Jide, and then before you know it, something is ensuing.
Yeah.
You say, oh, so you mean you're into real estate? Wow, do you not intend to go into real estate as well? I beg, yarn me. So how is that terrain? But a woman is sitting beside another woman, and then there's nothing like, hello, please, your dress is beautiful. You can say, oh, the other one say thank you, and it ends there. There's no ensuing conversation. And you see, networking is such that you must converse, you must bring yourself out there. There are a couple of reasons which I will share why women don't do that. Because one, women are primary caregivers. A lot of times you're rushing. So in Africa, in Nigeria, we're still the primary caregivers. So you see that in the office, when they say they thank God it's Friday, TGIF, just let your head down and take a drink. The woman is already thinking how she get to taco market and buy all the things on her list before the shop closes. In fact, Mutiu Elenro is already calling her, Ma, your meat is ready, you come and take it. So she's just, all her own is, let her just rush out of that office. And she just clocks out. They're calling her, Mrs. Please, we're still having the TAGIF. He said, don't worry, may the Lord be with you people. I'll see you later. And she just drives off because she needs to do a lot of other things before God gets on. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is women also think, we don't want this thing to be misconstrued. I go for a program and I walk up to this man. Oh, hello, sir. Good day. My name is Irene. This is what I do. And another, and all. You don't want it to look as though, I hope he doesn't think I am
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
You know, before we go further on that, because I think that has actually been a kind of is it barrier now, or something
it's a barrier
drawing a lot of women back. Like they don't want to make the first move. Nobody wants to make the first move, especially ladies. They feel that's why, I don't know, that's why we have it in this part of the country that it's difficult for a lady to ask a man out on a date.
Some people would rather die than do
exactly than do that. But before we go further on that discussion, let's take a quick break. Alright, viewers, we'll be taking a short break, and when we come back, we'll still be going into more details about friendship and networking. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to the program. If you're just joining us, you've missed the first section of our today's program, and we have Irene Ogba in the house. We are discussing friendship and networking. Well, like you were saying before we went on the break, you were given the limitations women have, why they don't put themselves out there like the women do. Please, over to you.
Yeah, so like before we went on the break, I said, you know, women are still primary caregivers, one, so they're always in rushing, you know. So, you know, anything to make them stay extra time, you don't have that time, because of course you have lots of other things to do. The other one is also because you don't want to be misconstrued. The third one is that women we want to process things first before we make a move. So here I am in this conference now, or I'm in this program, and I keep using programs because those are the places where networking happens. Industry events, programs, even church, and so on. And then you are there, and you know, you have seen this person, you know that there are certain collaborations you could do together, but you don't want, you are held back because you really want to understand the person. I want to really understand the person. But you see, life doesn't give us the time to really understand people like that. Because the event could be over now. The person whom you're supposed to have gone to at least shake and say, sir, I love, this is my card. You know, can I have yours? You know, so that I could, the person could just be, maybe protocol is ushering the person into the car, but you're still trying to process. So you're in the processing stage. Okay, do I process if I should? You know, so life doesn't give us that time. What should women do? Yes, we always are in a hurry, because especially when you have, for married women, you have lots of obligation to meet up. But at the same time, you need to pause and ask yourself, where do I want to head to? Certain things in life, you know, they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. Because you can be so intelligent, you have all the degrees, you have all the certifications, but who do you know? And who do you know is determined by how you have brought out yourself. So you need to ask yourself, what is my life goal? What are my plans? How do I want to get ahead in my career? In the next 5 years, where do I see myself? Because if you see yourself as you're going to be a GM, or you're going to move into, probably you are in this, you want to move into something management, then you must put yourself out there, because it is not by sitting in the house. So you need to now balance it. Sometimes you might need to just break out of the usual, that usual circle.
That breaking out of usual. Now, I feel a lot of women, they have a very low self-esteem. And that could be a reason why it's kind of difficult for them to project themselves out there like they really want. Now, some people are there, but they are not there yet. While some people are still way behind. Now, I feel we should talk about, okay, what do you think ladies should do, or women should do now, in a way that, okay, is it starting up a conversation that is a difficult thing for you to do? Okay, is it like, okay, when people are talking, you feel, okay, what if I say something off point? What if I talk amiss? You know, you now start, oh, let me just keep quiet, because we've had people that you'll be in a meeting and they need you to talk. Everybody's giving an opinion, but most especially ladies, everybody keep quiet. We just don't want to say, because you don't want to offend anybody, you don't want to be too forward, you don't want to be in between, and you end up, and somebody was saying that when they ask a lady something, it's always like, no, it's fine, we are fine, like it's cool, no, we don't have anything to say. Do you understand? He said it's a very wrong move. Now I want to know, is it the communication thing that we need to brush up? Is it your charisma? Is it your environment you need to change? Is it the kind of circle you find yourself in? Because we need to talk about all of this, because all of this contributes a lot to a woman's self-esteem. And if your self-esteem is threatened, it will be difficult for you to project yourself out there.
See, for me, we can't do self-esteem all here. You know, that's another topic on its own. But because I don't want to sound condescending, I want to tell every woman out there that you must take your personal development as a priority. Nobody can do that for you. And in this 21st century, if you cannot talk, you cannot make it. No, I don't argue it from any way, any angle. Whether you are selling akara, is it not you that will shout, akara day here?
Yes.
And you see, the spaces is becoming crowded. So you must talk. And let me tell you, there are tons of materials. And it brings to another thing. Do we really pay attention to our self-development? How many times you go on YouTube, free resources are there. Even when you write books, you say women buy. I have people tell me, Irene, buy book. In my book, Limitless, I have written about networking, 2 chapters, buy it and read. And not just me, there are lots of other books. There are materials to improve yourself. But let me just give this tip. For you to learn how to communicate, you must communicate. That is the only way. Just like people ask me, how can I write? I say you must be writing. So I have given a tip. I said, here you are in a meeting, even if you don't have anything to say, please, at the end of that meeting, whether it's a Zoom meeting, physical meeting, whatever, please just put up, if it's a Zoom meeting, put your emoji, your hands up. Okay, please, we can see Irene there. What do you want to say? I want to thank the organizers for organizing this program. Stop laughing, it's not funny.
Like that's the tiniest thing you can do.
Yes, you don't. I want to thank these organizers for organizing this program. In fact, this program has been of tremendous help. Just I will go back and go through everything. But thank you for putting up this. If you're in a physical program or a meeting, put up your hand. Okay, any other business, we're about to close the meeting. You say, I really want to appreciate the organizers. I celebrate you for doing this. You have said something. As you keep saying, before you know it, you begin to communicate. But never be in a meeting where they sat for 1 hour, 30 minutes. Your voice was not heard. You did not move motion to adjourn the minute of the meeting. You did not second it. How do they second it? It's not just to put up your hand. Second the Irene Oba seconds this meeting. You did not second the meeting. You did not even add any other business. You did not even appreciate the organizers. It is bad. You can't sit in a team for 75 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes. That's a football match time. And you did not add anything to that meeting. Begin to ask yourself, by the time you do that once, I second the motion for this meeting to be adjourned. Your name has been captured in that minute. Even if you're not there for the next meeting, when they are reading the minutes, they'll say, Fumi adjourned the meeting at 11:59 a.m. Somebody will ask, who is Fumi? You have created visibility for yourself. So these are practical things that you could do to learn to speak, to grow your self-esteem. The other one is, when you are in a program, you come, you know, a lot of times I tell people, try and sit in front. You see, when you sit at the back, you will see all the seas of human head. You can't talk. Because you are looking at all this crowd. But when you are in front, as long as they have told you this is reserved, leave reserved for the special guest. The next one, they say this is where others can sit. Sit there. So that when it's time to ask question, you only see only those first 2 rows where the reserved are. And a lot of time the reserved people are not always plenty. And they even leave before the... So you're not seeing the back. You now ask your question. It's only when you are going, you now ask yourself, you mean I spoke in
front of all of these people?
So try and come early. I told you what I'm teaching today. They won't teach you in business school. Come early. Sit in front, as long as it's not the reserved area. Get a good position and sit in front. And sit in such a way that they will see you. Wear a notice me dress. Okay. Don't go and wear the dress.
When you do all of these things, won't you think that people will think that, oh, you are doing so much? Like
you
just
doing too much.
Wear a notice me dress.
No, notice me dress doesn't mean you should be naked. There are certain colors. See, you have to be intentional about where you're going to, especially depending on the seriousness of the program. I tell people, before you go for a program that you really want to network, go and read the bio of the speakers. okay, so this man is going to be there, and you know, or this woman is going to be there. Go and read. Google is your friend. Google it. Know all the things the person. So out of these 5 speakers, who am I targeting? It's a target something. Oh. Who am I targeting to share my card with? And as you are going, you have dressed well. When I say notice me, you dress well. Make sure that your mouth is not smelling. But thank God for face masks these days.
Yeah.
You know, at least mouth odor has been killed. But make sure your mouth is not smelling, and then try and practice some good correct English, and then you watch out for the person you're targeting, because in an event you cannot target everybody. You can't target all the speakers, so you target 1 or 2, because if you don't have a target, you miss everything. When you're trying to target, oh, this one is MD of this is that. No, just target 1 or 2. That 1 or 2, when you get there, you know, maybe the person is still talking with somebody. Hover around, monitoring spirits. Just monitor. Then immediately because it's wrong to bump into people's discussion. So once you see there's a slight chance, oh, good morning, sir, make sure you listen very well to what he or she said, so that you can pick. So I love the point you made about women thinking differently from men. People like to be appreciated. So, oh, she was really listening. So I love it so much, you know, and I've always thought about it, but today you gave me clarity. Oh, sir, this is what I do. My name is this. Here's my card. And the person will be like, make sure you snap picture. As you are talking, sir, please, hope you don't mind we get a selfie. You take a selfie. Sharp. Sir, is your WhatsApp number here? You say, oh, the second one is my WhatsApp number. I said, okay, thank you, sir. I'll keep in touch. And of course, I always say, yes, keep in touch. You are the one, the onus is on you to keep in touch. Not him, not her.
Okay, I get all of this, and I'm sure ladies out there are getting the point. But now, you know, we have some women or some set of people that they feel, I'm sure you've heard people say, I'm not a talking person. I'm more of a, like, I can do the right thing. And even while we're in school, you know, some people are always like, when the teacher asks any question, they're always like, hi, auntie. And, you know, there's this thing that people feel they know it. That's why they are the ones raising up. But at the end of the semester, or at the end of the whole day, some people that are not the kind of person that will say, okay, I know this, or I want to say something, they're always the one maybe topping the class or having the best grades and all of that. So because of that, I've heard a lot of people say that I'm not a talking person. You know, I don't like to go to event like and talk, but I talk when like there's the need for me to talk, because there was a gathering I was there that somebody they wanted a lady to talk. Now they wanted a lady to talk, so everybody was like, oh, I don't want to talk. They had to force it on a lady to talk. Like, you know, we are not closing this event until a lady speaks.
And
do you understand?
And you didn't talk.
And you know, I didn't talk because I felt everybody has been saying everything, and you know that if sometimes you keep talking, you repeat what everybody keeps saying the same thing, a different, you know, the grammar is English is very wide, and there are ways I will construct my sentence that you feel we are not talking the same thing, but in the real context we know we are still saying the same thing. So they had to compare. You must talk. Yeah, you've been here since, you must say something. And you ended up talking, and everybody like, wow, so where have you kept all this all the while? Now my point is it a right thing for a lady to think, I don't have to talk, like I don't have to talk because I'm there, I have to talk? Why not? There's some people, they will tell you I'm more of a listener than a talking person. Is that a right move for a lady?
Well, I would, before I go into that, because I also, I don't want to forget this other point. The point where people collect cards. Before we round up, people collect business cards. So I will come to this other one. People collect a lot of business cards. They go to events, you see them, card, flyer, and all. So they have this store filled with cards. You know, if you're here and you have collected cards and you don't reach out to the person, your networking isn't complete. The person you've targeted, the person you want to network with, or you want to have networking relationship with, you need to reach out to the person. And my idea is between 24 to 48 hours after that event.
You need to reach out to
because people will forget you. And that's why I say take selfie. See, technology has made this thing very simple. Now you go, you look for the WhatsApp number, you save it, so and so CEO. You go and look for the person on WhatsApp. Good day, ma. It was a pleasure meeting you today. You know, I really learned from you. I'm the person who introduced myself to you. you post the picture with it, the person will not forget you. You say, okay, relationship has ensued. The person will reply you back, oh, thank you. And oh, what did you say you do again? And then you reply.
Start from there.
And then you are completing the circle of networking. Because if you just introduce yourself and then that is the end of it, your networking is not complete. So let's come to the women who say they don't like to talk when they, like I said before, in this century we are in this time and era, if you do not talk, I don't know how you will make it in any profession. Now, again, women have this thing of self-depreciating themselves. It's there's something I call it, I've forgotten, you know, it's like a self-defeating behaviors. Yes, that's how I wrote it in my book. Self-defeating behaviors, where you depreciate yourself. You don't want to look as if, you don't want to sound very intelligent, you know, and you don't want to sound dull as well, so you shut up. Now, if you are in a program where you feel everybody has said everything, please commend everybody for saying everything. They say, oh,
that's the least thing you can
that's
do.
the least. So they say, okay, Fumi, you must say something. Please, anytime you're called upon to say something, don't say you do not want to say. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity, you know, for calling me. I really want to thank you for all that you have said. They have all said it all. Yeah. However, I'll just add this, maybe just one little thing. I'll just add that some other time, this program should be extended. Instead of 1 hour, it should be 2 hours because we got so much value and we need time. Does that need Harvard English to put it in there? But don't ever, and it also comes to us, self-development, reading and reading wide. Knowing what is happening. Because there are some occasions you will get to, really, the only thing that will save you is just like you call me here now to speak. If I have not been reading wide and also writing, I'll be able to answer some of these questions. Because it's not like you gave me something, okay, go and read ahead. So I just come, but it's a deposit from all that you have been reading, you have been studying. So I ask women, study wide, know what is happening. Now they say Taliban and Afghanistan. You go to a program, it says Taliban, it is supermarket. You know, people are talking about Taliban and Kabul. You say Kabul, you say it's in Abuja. You know, because you don't know. And truly it is bad.
Very bad.
So try and read wide, listen, watch news, leave some of those people that don't speak English that you're watching. I don't want to call the stations. You know, they don't speak English, you're watching them. You're watching people that are not speaking English. You now come out, how can you speak good English?
You know, I need you to pause on that because we'll start from there in the last segment. But then let's take a quick break. All right, viewers, I'm sure you're enjoying every bit of this conversation, and I'm sure you're penning one or two things down to learn from, and at the end of the day you're going to make sure you project yourself out there to the world. But before we go further in the discussion, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, sadly, you've missed the first 2 sections of our today's program, and then you've missed a lot. But to catch up, you can visit www.kaftan.tv, or you can check our social media platforms or YouTube channel to catch up on the rest of the conversation. We have Mrs. Irene Ugba in the house, and we are discussing friendship and networking. Well, before we went on a break, you were saying something, and I would not want to distract you because I'm about to ask something, but let's finish with that before we go into the next phase.
Okay, so I think we ended up with talking about bringing yourself, doing the whatever, and then people who feel that they shouldn't bring out themselves. You know, I think I have dwelt so much on that because you have to realize, I keep asking, what is your goal? Where do you think you're heading to? What do you want to achieve? You need people to do that. You need human people. You need human beings to move you. And I also say that networking is not parasitic, like I told you people before we came on stage, on air rather. It's not a parasitic relationship. And this is where we also fail it, especially women. One of my mentors was telling me, she said, I don't know why women do not appreciate each other. A lot of times, some women, you know, but men, you see, when you know, one godfather has done something for you, you see the guy bringing so and so to say, oh, thank you, all, you know. But women, we need to learn to appreciate access. See, I tell my mentors, I say it's a privilege for me to have this access with you, you know, and I do not take it for granted. But beyond just saying it, what appreciation do you show?
How are you acting it?
Because people feel that when somebody is up there, I cannot, how much will I give her that she would appreciate? But I tell people, act of service. There are certain things. You don't look at networking as something that you're always collecting. No, you must be depositing, no matter who. Even if Mr. President is your contact today, and you feel okay because it's Mr. President, there are certain things he needs from you. There are certain value you should be giving to that person, and that is why you see sometimes you are calling the person, you know, the so-called up person up there. They are not picking your calls because it has always been withdrawing, no deposit. Like I was telling you, I said I have some big aunties that I can't give them money because how much will I give them that will really, you know, show that or make sense to them. But there are certain acts of services I do for them. Some of them are not so internet savvy. Some I decide to book their tickets for them. One of my biggest was traveling this month. I was the one that booked her ticket. In fact, I checked her in online around 11 p.m. and sent her card to her. And you know, she saw it this morning. She was so happy. She was like, Irene, thank you. God bless you. Acts of services. And women, younger women should learn act of service. All this, you're doing your hand like this and you want the person to be. People come to Irene, I want you to mentor me. You have not bought one of my books. How do I can't be depositing and you are just withdrawing. There must be a commercial, not commercial, but there must be value exchange. I see certain opportunities for those my big up people who introduce me to people, and I say to them, I say, oh, Dr. This, I just saw this. I don't know if you would want to, you want to apply. You know, I look out for certain things that I know that will pass them. I have a mentor that, you know, she has introduced me to platforms, and it was through networking in a program I went for in Kano, and she just took me by hand. This person, you know, do this for Irene, do that for Irene. What can I do for her? But I go out of my way because I know there are certain things she's looking out for. There are certain news I know she will miss, but she needs those news. I screenshot the news myself. I send it to her on WhatsApp. And she'll be like, Irene, do you know I never saw this? Let me quickly call the person. Because she needs to get that appointment. But she needs this information. You can see that I'm bringing value to her. So you see younger girls, you're not ready to bring value to older people. You now want them to now be networking. You are the one just collecting. And it's a terrible mentality.
And you keep complaining that they're not picking their calls.
Some of them are doing party. The child's wedding and so on. Yes, they've got some caterers and so on. But you can be that right-hand person. Say, auntie, don't worry. You're a special guest. I will stand by the caterer and make sure that every one of them eats and get their souvenir. And you make sure that Saturday, that is all you did for her. Do you think she wouldn't appreciate that? That is a value. You cannot take her to go and meet minister because you don't have the connection. She's the one that can even take you there. But this is what you can do for her. Making sure that all her guests ate, got their this thing. And you know, you don't know the value you have given. So I tell people, value in networking is very important, especially to younger girls. Don't think you are just collecting. After a while, they won't even listen to you because every human being is looking for who to give him value or give her value.
Wow. You know, to think that now we have a broader knowledge. Myself, I think I have a broader knowledge of how this networking works, because you know the idea of network has been, please, I don't want to, you know, when this one introducing to this person.
The idea of networking has always been NLNG. What's that?
All this. That is the kind of knowledge a lot of people have.
When you talk about networking,
like, I'm not interested. Before you even go for that, I'm not interested. And you know, because of you trying to introduce another person to this person, and you are the kind of person that you feel you're a reserved person. Please, I don't want too many circles. I don't want to. I'm not interested. And because of that, you don't know that you're losing out on a lot of things. Now, but then I have the knowledge now that if I get to meet Madam Irene Uba, and I get to deposit after withdrawing a lot from her, I deposit the little I can. Then she links me up with somebody that, okay, you said you are into this person, have you tried this person? And it keeps growing and it keeps growing. You know, I've understand now that you can't build yourself on your own, because you need other people to help you get to where you're going. And so people are like, hey, I'm intelligent enough, what else do you want? No, I can do this on my own. It's not usually like that.
I just remembered something. I remember one time I went for a mentorship program, well, let me just say, I went for Madam Irene's mentorship program, and after the program, I was like, I don't have money, and I bought her book. So after the program, I was discussing with somebody. I was like, oh, I don't have money. The person said, and you bought the book? I said, yes. He said, why did you buy the book? I said, I want to be on her good book. The person just started laughing.
No, but that's because
I was intentional about it.
Yes.
I just bought the book. At that point, I felt like buying this book, I don't even know, but I had to buy it. And people were like, what do you mean you want to be on her good book? I'm like, because she took her time to mentor.
Exactly.
We didn't pay anything for it. So the best I could do was at least buy the book. And then I bought the book, and at some point, because I really don't have time, but at some point I started making time to
read the book,
read a page of it, like, I'm like, okay, this was actually worth buying. Now if I decided, because I don't have money, I'm not going to buy this book, let's just go.
And that's what a lot of ladies are doing nowadays. And the point you mentioned about being intentional about your personal growth, I feel we've not gotten to that stage yet in this in fact, the youth of nowadays, our generation, we don't take some things with importance. We just take everything with levity. Now, the place of you being intentional about where you go, about what you eat, about who you talk to, about who you hang out with, a lot of things, about what you read, people are not intentional about that thing. And I can say that a lot of us are guilty of that, because let's talk about, somebody was telling me about something recently, like, I don't know anything about it, and I had to tell the person, now, away from you being a media person, you have to know a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Now you're telling me you're not into politics, so because of that you don't know the governor of this state. Okay, you don't know what's happening in this state, and now to have to eat, you are in media. How would you say you're not interested in this? You don't know this, you don't know that. I say, even if you're not in media, an ideal lady, let me just put it that way, like, you should know a little bit of everything, so that you can't find yourself in a gathering and they're asking something and be like, I don't know. Oh wow. Oh, because we've had conversation with ladies, and guys say it a lot, and the next thing you see is mad though. And you feel like, what kind of what is mad though? Mad though, we're talking this, okay, they're talking about Afghanistan that is trending, and you're like, now wow, mad. Like, what do you have to say? Do you even know what's going on there? Now this is trending. You don't know anything about it. No, I'm not that kind of person. Okay, what kind of person are you? What do you do?
You're
okay,
mad person.
Even if you are into fashion, let's say you are the fashion person. Okay, what's the latest of this? Okay, Tiffany, this thing just released. Okay, what's the latest? You don't even know.
Okay, Rihanna now is this after Oprah Winfrey, second richest person based on beauty. So now, even if you're in fashion, in that your industry, have you read bigger things? Jojo Amani say, what is that one?
Exactly.
You know, so we must learn to read. We must learn to study. And I tell people 24 hours, everybody has the same 24 hours. I tell people, do your productivity analysis. Every day, ask yourself, as I'm sitting down here now, I have written down what I need to achieve today. I may not achieve all, but and any day I achieve everything. Like on Monday, I needed to be in a gender policy, and then I needed to go and submit proposal to 2 international agencies. I needed to. Do you know that I left the policy? I took permission 1 hour because I had gone earlier. They said they resumed by 10. Went back there. See, you need to ask yourself, how productive was your day, including your spiritual life? That's so. What did I achieve today? So that's why sometimes when I'm sitting down and I'm watching certain things, I say, no, it's time to leave this because I need to. So we need to ask ourselves productivity analysis, and that is why you see, you know, employers of labor are paying people who are not productive. Because 8 hours, 9 hours you are in the office, 4 hours you are doing mad though. What is happening? This, that, you know, and you're gisting what is not supposed to be. You know, so, and the other part we're talking about, I wanted to hammer on is on inclusion. Inclusion. You know, because I'm a strategist in inclusion. Some people exclude themselves. I was telling you, and you're asking me how. Unknowingly, they exclude themselves. And that is another part of, you know, networking that women don't know. And what brought about that was when you said that people say, okay, like you bought my book when you came for my program. See, when you give, even Jesus Christ noticed the woman that broke the alabaster box of Jesus. He noticed the person. How much more human beings? Because people feel that, this person has everything. Okay, she called us for mentoring. We didn't pay. It was free. And so no, there are certain things you do. I tell people in the office, your boss is celebrating birthday, your supervisor is celebrating birthday, or wedding or something. They bought a Ashwebi. You don't have 20,000 to buy a Ashwebi. We know it's not your fault. But you can't go and make 3 feet size card for 5,000, 7,000 naira and give that you put in the office. There must be a connection. First day, you didn't join them in their Ashwebi. Second one, the child did naming ceremony. They didn't name me, said the wife had a baby, they didn't name me ceremony. You did not attend. That one is not even that you needed anything. No. They made contribution of 1,000 in the office. You say you didn't have money. Now they were going to the place in Gwarimpa. You did not follow them. You say no, you are very, very. Are you seeing how you're excluding yourself? And you see, people don't know because people are watching you. I was telling somebody, a friend of mine that works in the ministry, I said, sure, you want to be PAMSEC? She said, yeah. I said, hey, they don't get PAMSEC in the office. So she was laughing. I said, I hope you are doing the strategic networking because there are certain things you can't get. It's not from office. It is from certain meetings. I don't know how they get PAMSEC, but I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example. There are certain promotion you don't get from sitting in the office. Even if you got your PhD from Harvard, that promotion will not come to you in the office. It will come to you in Ijebu Ode, in that party, in that program, or in that naming ceremony. When they, see, did you see her? You know, the other day, you know, she just upgraded her CV where they are eating. He said she just upgraded her CV. Oh, you mean Sandra? Yes, I was thinking we should recommend her for that position. They are just eating barbecue.
And they are deliberating the matter
you
already.
just greeted and passed in the event. So, you know, we were thinking of filling the position of GM. Don't you think this, Sandra? Was that an office discussion? Some things don't happen. So I tell women, I'm not saying attend everything they do. I'm not saying go everywhere, but be strategic. Put your A list out there. And when you are presenting, as much as women are mothers, so who did the work? We did it. We. Meanwhile, you're the one that did everything. You say, I did the work. And then so made some inputs. Bring out yourself. They say, okay, report writing. Who wrote the report? They didn't put your name, and you did not fight for your name to be put there. Meanwhile, you did the 60%, and you see the guy put his hand in the pocket. He only wrote 20%. Then it's time to, you say, yes, you know, we gather data. So whatever it is you think that you did and credit should be given to you, please
fight it.
Fight for your credit to be given to you, so that when the names are being read, your name is there. Then the other point I tell women, I said, see, don't join coke and meat pie lists. You see those committees they put you to go and be serving food. It is not your portion. True, it's not your portion. So you are in and you know, because we're in a patriarchal society where they feel every time Fumi is in the office, serve us tea. What's the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? When I'm in my house, I serve my husband tea, is okay. But I'm in the office here. They employed you bachelors of whatever, chemical. Me, bachelors of chemical too. We are working. And if I have to do it, I'm doing it on my own terms because I decided to do it. Now, they now say, okay, so we're going to be having committees right now for the annual general meeting. Sandra and Fumi, okay, put them in entertainment committee. Welfare. And then you're happy, cook and meat pie committee, you're happy. Then they put the men, they say, okay, business development, partnership, and looking for sponsorship. They put the men there. When it's all said and done, at the end of the day, they are taking appraisal of the events. They do not remember those who served. Okay, let's thank the welfare committee for making sure that the jollof rice, the party jollof rice was very good. Then they now come to the main things. We realized over 15 million naira because Mr. Zacchaeus, with his team, you know, wrote very wonderful proposals and sent out tomorrow. When they are going to promote people, business development executive, pen Mr. Zacchaeus down. After all, they are the ones that go. Women are not
deal,
So I was working in the ministry briefly, and the day they put, I did that cook. I told Morgan, I'm not going to be there. I said, put me in this one, the people that will review the Papalanto project. He said, I said, yes, sir. I said, that is what I want to do. That's how they put me there. And I reviewed the thing. So that when tomorrow, when reckoning is taking place, it is not the person who did welfare very well that will head that organization. No. And you see the woman, like she'll start running after, you know, I don't know why I was removed. I don't know why I was sidelined. You know, English grammar. will be coming up. No, you start and be deliberate about it. And I tell young girls, as you're starting your career, be deliberate about it. Begin to think. The other day I asked you, I said, 5 years time, where do you hope to be?
Yeah.
Look, when you know that, you begin to work towards it. And then you're making sure that your goals, you're crushing them. And then I'm not saying you should be ruthless, because women don't operate like men. As much as we're crushing our goal, we are humane. Yes, we are humane. We still want people to, we go out to look out for people's welfare.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that in looking out for everybody's welfare, my own should die. No. Put yourself out there and be deliberate.
Wow, thank you so much. It was such an insightful discussion. I wish we could go on and on and on, because I was already carried away. I was just looking at it. Wow. So our agenda, we mean we've missed it all this way, and we are just relaxing and we're not doing anything about it. Anyway, we want to appreciate you for
thank you.
saying yes. A pleasure. These are invites, even with the short notice.
Yes, always
thank
a pleasure.
you so much. Really appreciate. Wow, viewers out there, I'm sure you've enjoyed every bit of this conversation. Seriously, you need to, if you're missing this, you need to go to our YouTube, and you need to, this particular part, you should not miss. What I would just say is that we need to invest in our personal growth and development. We need to be intentional about what we want to do, how we want to achieve our goals in life. They said we need to project ourselves to the world out there, but it's not by sitting down. It's not by being on the phone 24/7. It's not by doing things that don't really attract anything. Please, let's up our game. Let's level up and charge up. That's how much you can take on today's episode of Engender. Join us next time.